I'm just bringing on the different members of the group, and I'm letting them tell their stories. So Mr. Brandon Andra, he is the founder and CEO of Empower Solar, and he's one of our leaders in Group 1. Dude, so good to see you, bro.
What's up? Good to see you.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you taking a few minutes. I know how busy you are, but I just wanted you to kind of maybe tell how this program has affected you, kind of like, for people that are watching this and they're interested and they're thinking about whether or not they're going to join the group. Maybe just share your own experience of why, you love We Are the They.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when I joined, which is the first group, I didn't know what it was essentially, like a lot of the people in Group 1, right? And the reason why I joined is because of you, Jimmy. You just had came and spoke to our company a couple times and had done everything for free. And I just was always looking for a way to support back in any way. I'd already made that decision. And so the second I saw you were doing this, I reached out and said, I want to be a part of it. I want to support you. So that's why I joined, and very quickly realized what this was. I'm really big on investing in myself. I've done leadership coaching, real estate coaching, financial coaching, business coaching, whatever, the last 10 years, and done all the mastermind stuff. And this just was so different than anything I've experienced. The typical thing, you go to the hotel, go to the conference room, you have the name tag, your business, your networking, and there's a place for that, nothing against that. But to go to our first weekend retreat and forget about business and just go really deep on a personal level, I just felt so strongly that this is just so unique, And so it was at that first meeting where I had the feeling that I want everybody at work to experience this. And so kind of my story is I joined Group 1, did that simultaneously later on, filled up Group 3 with 50 of our leaders at work because I felt that strongly about it, where I went to them and said, look, as a company, we'll contribute to half the fees. You guys do your other half, but we'll do half the fees because there's just nothing like this in the world. And having done all those coachings, all the masterminds, there's literally nothing like this out there in the world. And the core values that Jimmy has with We Are the They, integrity, authenticity, and vulnerability, those impacted my life in a very real and strong way. And so I just, I've said this before with our group, but going into this, I had great friendships, really deep, meaningful friendships that I've had my whole life. And I know this sounds crazy, and it's not to compare or take away from those, but any friendship I think that anybody has going into this will almost feel surface level because you go so deep with all the brothers in the group. And if the core values are real, man, the vulnerability, like you can just instantly meet up with someone and jump right into things. How's porn going? How's this going? How's stuff with your wife, your commitment? How's work? Like you just get to the ultimate level of vulnerability. And so I think for anybody, if they've been wanting deeper, more meaningful relationships, this will check that box all day long. That's what this is. And if you've ever had a feeling of there's more to life than just working or money or whatever, I've had every weekend we've ever gone to, I just walk away thinking, oh my gosh, like work and money and bills and all this stuff, that is just such a tiny, tiny part of life. There is so much more. And there's just all those moments that you have. And so the reason why I bring up Jimmy is, in my opinion, Jimmy's the best in the world at creating a group and having a in-person weekend experience that will change your life. There's nobody better than Jimmy. And so I'm super bought in, obviously, and then my actions showed it. I mean, we contributed to hundreds of thousands of dollars just so that our guys at work could go have a similar experience. So, and then you have all the fun stuff too, right? Like I've dove with the sharks with Jimmy. We've ran with the bulls with Jimmy. We swam in the cold waters of Iceland. We've walked on hot coals together twice. We've had Roman candle wars. Like we've done all the sick stuff. But when I think about We Are the Day, that's not where my mind goes to. It's my deep, meaningful relationships that I've got out of it, and the authenticity, the vulnerability, and integrity. And so I've seen Jimmy in every situation. I've seen him in financial situations. I've seen him with his lifelong friendships. I've seen him in investment situations. I've seen him in spiritual situations, health and fitness, and he's just what Jeff was speaking of a minute ago. It's just way different than what I thought, and I'm really grateful for all the
I
experiences.
mean, Thanks a lot, man. Thank you. And one of the things that I promise the guys when they sign up for the leadership group is you will get access to me. Like if you need something, if you need one-on-one time, if you need, like if you have something going on in your life that really needs some attention, and maybe speak,
Yeah,
how did that play out for you? Did you feel like you absolutely had is like that I fulfilled that promise to you, that you got the one-on-one time and that I really cared enough to sit down whenever was needed?
totally. Yeah, I can speak to that in a couple different ways. Running a business, sometimes it's lonely at the top, right? Like maybe you have frustrations or things you're stressed out about, and sometimes there's nobody else to talk to. And so it's been so helpful to be able to go on walks with Jimmy in the morning and just be able to talk things through. Like usually I'm on the other end listening to people and giving advice and all those things. And so it's really, really helpful for me to have access to Jimmy there. And then also just, I mean, like that is worth so much money. And so I think what people would learn in 20 to 30 years, just having access to you has really expedited that. And so our group, just for context for everybody on, was mostly people in their 20s. And they're just starting life. And so they just had so many questions for Jimmy that I was like, dang, I'm so jealous, man. So jealous that I would have loved to have something like this earlier on. And that's what I've loved about also Group One is it's so diverse. People in their 20s, people in their 30s, people in their 40s, people in their 50s. And I've loved the diversity of the group as well. It's been awesome. But yeah, I love the time, Jimmy. You've always answered my phone calls. You've always got back to me in text, and loved all the face-to-face time as well.
I appreciate that, man. Can you imagine us finding this in our 20s,
Oh
dude? You
my
know how
gosh.
hard you and I had to work to network with as many
Yeah.
people as you get? Like
Yeah,
I think that's one of my favorite things about the group is like you just have this built-in network for life. Like
totally.
getting that deep with 50 people, you get to have so much more network outside of that. And like even with another thing that I promised you guys when you joined is that I'd open up my
Yeah,
network for you. I mean, maybe speak if I've been able to fulfill
totally.
on that as well.
Yeah, I can totally speak to that because running a company, a lot of the contacts that you brought that have came in and spoken at the weekend events, I've been able to also develop relationships with, and they've came in and spoke to our company afterwards. And they're people that I didn't know before, didn't have relationships before. And there's been all sorts of things, whether it's been investment contacts or tax benefits or a lot of stuff in the business world. But where I've utilized it the most has just been the self-development and bringing people in to help mentor and teach us here. So it's been cool. Yeah, my first 6 months, I was just blown away at the guests that you were able to get in the room. And not easy things, right? To drive 6 hours to Lake Powell or drive 5 hours to St. George's to speak and turn around or drive 3 or 4 hours to Bear Lake. It's just like, how do people do this for free, or just as a favor? And I think it's because you will experience what I've experienced with Jimmy is that he's made so many deposits for me in my life that the second he asks anything, I'm like, done, 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 and that's how you feel with all the brothers in the group. And why you have those lifelong friendships is because you invest so much in each other that you'll be there for the rest of your life for these people.
Yeah, but dude, I appreciate you, man. To the one person that said, "How can I join you guys?" There's a link in my bio. Click on that; has all the information. Apply, and then we'll reach out to you. I'm personally reaching out to everybody that's joining this group, and would love to have you in. But Brandon, couldn't say enough how much I appreciate you, man. You've been such a perfect example of why this group is so amazing. It's the kind of caliber guys that are in this group are guys like Brandon. Like these are not broken men. These are men that are already kicking ass in life. He manages hundreds of people. He literally is the owner of, one of the bigger solar companies around. The guy is kicking butt in every way in life. He's got a beautiful family and kids, and he's just an example of everything you'd want a human being to be. And he got into this group and realized, wow, look at all these different things that I can still grow from. And I think that's what makes me so happy, dude, is that, a person like you that already has done so much work and has already grown so much, still was able to take away so much from the program. I think that's one of the things that makes me so happy.
Yeah, no, best decision ever. No brainer. So thank you, Jimmy. Love you, man.
Love you, man. See you later, my friend.
Okay.
Peace.